How can you say there is no God? I personally feel His power in church.
Well, I don't know exactly what you felt, but from the atheist standpoint, we'd say that you're experiencing a mass-induced psychosis. It is quite a commonly accepted psychological phenomenon. People in large groups can be emotionally charged rather easily. Do some research on the psychology of lynching and witch hunts, etc.
Don't you believe in an immortal soul?
No, your personality is basically an organic and chemical structure that resides mostly in the frontal lobes of your brain. Many studies have been done to show that the application of certain chemicals or surgery can change the way your personality behaves. A simple surgical procedure known as a lobotomy, for example, can erase your personality altogether. How can your soul, i.e. your personality, exist when it has no physical brain to reside in?
Don't you wish you could go to heaven?
Well, sure. We'd love to believe that heaven is real and that we could live forever. But there's never been anyone who's ever come back and said it was there. There is no evidence whatsoever that life continues after death. The Bible doesn't count, since it was written by very superstitious people who believe that demons cause illness, the earth is flat, and the sun travels around the earth. Also, if heaven is to be total happiness forever, then how can you be totally happy if you know that one or more of your loved ones are in hell, or if anyone is in hell? If God removes your memories of those loved ones so that you can be happy, is He not altering the thing that is you? If He alters you very much, you cease to be the you that you were. Also, are babies still babies in heaven forever? Do retarded people become smart? Every religion or sect has a different heaven. How do we know which is the correct heaven? Indeed, how do we know anything about heaven? Even the Bible is extremely sketchy in this respect. Doesn't it make more sense that the ancient church would just make up heaven and hell to keep its followers in line? After all, hell is the ultimate threat, and heaven the ultimate bribe.
Well, surely you believe that America was founded on Christianity.
No. When religious leaders portray the American founding fathers as universally Christian, they are being downright dishonest. There were some Christians, to be sure, but many, and perhaps most, were deists. They believed that God may have created the universe, but He either died or went away after that. For example, Tom Paine, in his Age of Reason, wrote one of the most scathing attacks on Christianity to date. To quote just one passage, "Whenever we read the obscene stories, the voluptuous debaucheries, the cruel and torturous executions, the unrelenting vindictiveness with which more than half of the Bible is filled, it would be more consistent that we called it a work of a demon rather than the Word of God. It is a history of wickedness that has served to corrupt and brutalize humankind, and for my part I sincerely detest it, as I detest everything that is cruel." And Thomas Jefferson once wrote that all religions are alike, founded on fables and myths. He was also a staunch supporter of the separation of church and state. Quote, "History, I believe, furnishes no example of a priest-ridden people maintaining a free civil government." Benjamin Franklin wrote in his Poor Richard's Almanac that lighthouses were more helpful than churches, and the way to see faith is to shut the eye of reason. James Madison said, quote, "During almost 15 centuries has the legal establishment of Christianity been on trial. What has been its fruit? More or less, in all places, pride and indolence in the clergy, ignorance and servility in the laity, and in both, superstition, bigotry, and persecution." John Adams said, and I quote, "This would be the best of all possible worlds if there were no religion in it." But even George Washington was a lukewarm supporter of religion at best, putting his support behind human reason and education. I quote, "There is nothing which can better deserve our patronage than the promotion of science and literature. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness."
So why did you write these pages?
Well, there are 3 reasons. 1, to give the atheist perspective. Many religious leaders are engaged in constant misinformation campaigns aimed at painting atheists as immoral, dissolute, God-haters, if not outright Satan worshippers. Most religious leaders know that it's a lie, but they say it anyway. How many times have I heard Christians confide that it's okay to tell a lie as long as it brings more people to Christ? We're talking about breaking a commandment here, but apparently it's okay as long as the end justifies the means. 2. as a resource for people who are just beginning to doubt the veracity of their religion. I only wish there had been such a resource when I was beginning to question the church myself. The journey from faith to reason could have been a much quicker, less painful one for me. And 3, to get people to think just a little bit. Many people just go day to day believing whatever their religious teachers tell them, that whatever happens is just God's will, and that there's no other way to think about the world and the universe. Think, the universe is just as gorgeous, just as wondrous, and without an all-powerful, judgmental God watching your every move and monitoring your every thought, I would say that it is even more so.